Welcome to Couch Potato Theater here on the Fandom Podcast Network. My name is Kevin, and we have a very special show for you here to celebrate Valentine's Day. You may own your favorite movies digitally or on physical media. However, when they air on cable TV, you love what you're watching so much, you don't get off that couch. And that is a definition of what our show is all about. My name is Kevin, and we are going to discuss a very, very popular film celebrated on Valentine's Day. But before I do and introduce the film, I like to introduce my crew. First of all, with me is my Blood of Kings co-host, our Highlander Blood of Kings co-host, Mr. Lee Fillingsness. What's up, Lee?
Not much, sir. Dealing with some internet issues today, so if I drop out, my apologies.
That's all right. That's all right. We got an all-star cast here, Lee. I'd like to welcome, first of all, the queen of movie foo, one of our wonderful contributors and co-host of Time Warp on the Fandom Podcast Network, Miss Lacey Adderhold. What's up, Lacey?
Ooh.
How you doing? Welcome.
Doing good. Thanks for having me.
All right. Now, Kyle, my brother from another mother, co-founder of the Fandom Podcast Network, he's feeling a little under the weather tonight. So just think of him as the Vanisher. Is he here? Is he not? We wish him well. Get better, Kyle. He won't be able to join us. Maybe he'll be watching us from a distance. We'll see. But
are we supposed to imagine him as Brad Pitt?
Yeah, maybe he's just Brad Pitt. There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
But I do have someone that I had to bring on here because not only is he one of my oldest friends, but he is a Deadpool expert and a Deadpool super fan, a Deadpool cosplayer, and all things knowing of Deadpool. I'd like to welcome my buddy, Mr. Catseater. How are you?
How's it going, everybody? Much love. Thanks for the invite.
So, guys, okay, I got to bring something to the table here. So, we're discussing the Deadpool, wonderful 1988 Dirty Harry movie that everyone, I'm sure, just loves. And I'm so happy that we're here to discuss the Deadpool because this was the film that really kind of started it all when it came to my love for Guns N' Roses. You know, not only did you have a young Jim Carrey pretending to sing a Guns N' Roses song, you had a Liam Neeson, and Guns N' Roses made an appearance. So I'm really happy that you're all here to discuss the Deadpool with Clint Eastwood.
You damn dirty son of a bitch.
I think you picked the wrong one.
We are talking about Deadpool. We're celebrating Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool 2016. Came out around Valentine's Day, basically. Mm-hmm. But Lee, I have to go to you real quick because this podcast is your fault.
Most things are my fault. That's what my dad tells me.
You're like, dude, we should do Deadpool because, Valentine's Day is coming up. And so we figured we would do it the day before Valentine's Day. And first of all, we want to thank everyone out there that is joining us. And we have some people chatting here. Hold on. Oh, there's Kyle. Oh, no, you didn't, Kevin. There you go. We got Adam here as well. Thank you. Word up, y'all. Who else we got here? But we know what happened to the Vanisher. Nice. There's Kyle, the Vanisher. Anyway, Kyle, we hope you're feeling better, brother. Kat, I want to go to you real quick. I need you, Kat, to prove to the people that you are a Deadpool expert. What do you got?
Besides the fact of his, first appearance and... Oh, you mean this?
Yes, thank you. Do that again.
I've been trying to land it up better.
There you go. Yes, there you go.
But, I mean, you can always just go to that one, too.
The Deadpool Stormtrooper? Is that right?
Yep.
The tattoo you got?
Nice.
That is the Deadpool. TDP01, thank you very much.
Yes, Adam, Deadpool had Jim Carrey, yes. But anyway, Kat, you are an expert. You also have cosplayed Deadpool as well. We've done that together at Dragon Con. You're the person that we're going to go to with some of the expert, testimony on this.
Let's hope I don't fail you then.
Kyle, first of all, brother, I hope you're feeling better, man. Sorry you can't be here.
Feel better, man.
Yeah,
we miss you.
All right. Okay. I want to, first of all, guys, this is Valentine's Day. Now, we didn't schedule this on Valentine's Day because some people have got plans and, we might not get the viewers because, stuff's going on.
So that means you have plans.
No, I didn't have plans.
Okay, well then. We're all good.
But we are discussing.
It's my fault.
Yeah. Lee's
Like
got
Mitch
some
Hedberg
plans.
says, I don't have a girlfriend, but there's a girl to be really mad if she heard me say that.
But
Don't feel bad. I
God,
just have the
probably going to
internet.
listen to this. I didn't mean it, babe.
all right, guys. First of all, quick plot description. We're just going to get right into it. This is an origin story of former Special Forces operative turned mercenary Wade Wilson, who, after being subjected to a rogue experiment that leaves him with accelerated healing powers, adopts his alter ego, Deadpool. Wait, is it this one or this one? One of those. Anyway, armed with his new abilities and a dark, twisted sense of humor, Deadpool hunts down the man who nearly destroyed his life, Francis. Okay. I just got, when you get your Facebook memories, I just got a Facebook memory that I was at the AMC in outside of Atlanta watching this on IMAX. But I want to get your guys' first experience watching this for the first time. Kat, I want to start with you because you, sir, are the Deadpool expert.
Do you want it the first time the first day, the first time the second day, the first time the third day?
Just
I saw it
start
all
with
three times in one day. I didn't leave the theater. Oh my God! When we first saw the trailer that was leaked by Ryan Reynolds' mother, as they say, I saw that trailer and I was just in love. It was absolutely phenomenal. Exactly what I wanted to see in a movie. And when they released it, jaw-dropping. My chin was on my chest somewhere, and I was just like, they finally made a Deadpool movie, and they made it right. Of which we won't talk about that other movie that he was in. And I went, got another ticket, watched it again, got another ticket, watched it again, and I've seen it 23 times in the theater. Not counting on DVD or anything like that, which is a lot more. I have a problem.
Lee, what about you? When did you first see it? What was your first experience?
AMC at the Southdale Mall here in Minneapolis. Also the first mall in the world, the way that we think of them. Went in, watched it. Like everybody here, I saw the trailer that got leaked or the test footage that got leaked. Absolutely loved that. I think I actually saw that on Attack of the Show before that company went belly up. But just the amount of work and time that they spent on this really Blade 3 was when the talks first started happening, kind of waiting for this to happen. It was amazing watching it in the theater. The first time since The Matrix where the slow-mo fight actually paid off in a way that was thrilling and surprising and amazing. I absolutely loved the whole thing.
I love how you mentioned the slow-mo fight in the beginning, especially when they didn't use the names and the real credits. They said, the hacks that did this, just the fun stuff and how it went all through the car. And, you saw little shout outs to certain people and stuff like that. Yeah, it's great. Lacey, what about you? When did you first see this film? What was your first experience?
I saw it the Wednesday before opening night. I used to work in theaters, and I still had a bunch of friends who worked in theaters. And so at about 2 o'clock in the morning, the week before it came out, I got a phone call at 2 a.m. that said, if you could be here in 25 minutes, you can see Deadpool. And so I got there like 23 minutes later and watched it until about 4 a.m. or whatever, 5 a.m. It was fantastic. We had a blast. There was only 3 of us in the theater. It was fantastic. And then that weekend, I think I saw it 4 times in 3 days, maybe, because I had tickets with different groups of people who couldn't all get together. And it was great. I think the first night I saw it twice. But yeah, I loved the bag, loved the shoes, loved everything.
Kyle says, I want to know what you all eat on your chimichangas. I got to be honest with you. I think I had my first chimichanga after I saw the movie. Or maybe right before it. Yeah, I was kind of more of a burrito guy. I've never actually had a chimichangas. And I think I bought mine from like a I want to say a fast. What was it? QT, like a 7-Elevens they have there.
Dude,
yeah.
Go to Kuka's. They have
Yeah.
them.
Oh, I know. I've had it since then. But
Okay.
I want to start from I want to have a discussion about how this movie kind of came about. Obviously, we know Ryan Reynolds did the Deadpool character in that horrible version of it, of course, in the Wolverine film, and they've made fun of it.
I think it's fair to say that he played Wade Wilson well in the Wolverine film, but once the transition happened, it was kind of over.
Yeah. But fans wanted something more. And I'm going to go to you first, Kat, because I remember they did this test footage. And it's been a while since I've watched it, and it went over really, really well. Fans went nuts. And it just seemed like Ryan wanted to do this character right. And he's poked fun at it. He's poked fun of it in the film, how they didn't do it well. And but there was a certain buzz that this movie had. Tell me when you started hearing about that and your thoughts on that.
When he released his first, once it first dropped, and I was tagged in it 30, 40 times by many people, and I watched it, it was just overwhelmingly amazing. Everything from just the simple details of the, not animated, but the computer graphic generated version of it, to watching it once he released the actual movie. I mean, literally, I had no answers for it. I think I watched that trailer, I don't know, maybe 100 times, just slow motion, watching it, picking it up, slow motion, and just, it was the probably the best thing ever released to start a movie and then create a movie off of.
Wow. Yeah, and Kyle says here, the infamous leak. And so the test footage was leaked online in July of 2014. And was met with an overwhelmingly enthusiastic response. And the information I got here was that September, Fox gave Deadpool a release date of February 12, 2016. Production was set to begin March 2015, with Simon Kinberg joining as a producer. Reynolds attributed Fox's greenlighting of the film entirely to the leak. He, Miller, and the writers had previously discussed leaking the footage themselves, and Reynolds initially thought that Miller had done so. He later believed the leak came from someone at Fox. In exchange for being able to make the film they wanted, Fox gave the crew a much smaller budget than a typical superhero film. Lee, tell me about how you got this leak, and you remember seeing it and your responses to it.
I remember it was either the Nerdist website or the Attack of the Show, because it was right in the time where they were going under. But I remember catching that, and it was very much in the Fight Monkey world. It was like the, dude, have you seen this? The way that Boondock Saints was when it came out. And we all just watched it, and it's like, this is what fight choreography could be. It could be really fun. It could lean into, when it's schlocky, it can lean into that. It can lean into just brutal pain with humor, because Aeschylus, one of the oldest rules of acting, is comedy is tragedy plus time. So tragedy is always funny if you take enough time. This was just, I just call it brutiful. It's brutal and beautiful. And it was one that we still pull out every so often. It's just one of those examples of, I'm doing a big fight in a couple of weeks, and it's one that we pull out just to see, where we can push the envelope, where we can just surprise the audience.
Lacey, were you in on the early leak footage? Do you remember seeing that, or did you just kind of wait until the development it came out in theaters? Tell me about your experience with this leaked footage, if you saw it or not.
I saw it everywhere. When it came out, I think about 40 people email, Facebook, MySpace, I think at the time. Maybe
MySpace, baby, yeah.
Like back in it was like everyone I knew was like, this is something Lacey needs to see. And I got like 40 messages. I think I saw, what was it, about 8 minutes or something? 7 minutes, 6, whatever, how much it was. That's how it felt anyway. I was very excited about it from the very beginning. I don't know how it was next day of, somewhere in there. It was kind of that word of mouth situation. And I was very excited from the get-go.
Yeah, it's interesting because I remember seeing that test footage. I remember, Kat, you were just going insane for it, and I was just like, Ryan Reynolds. I mean, he's trying to correct things here. He's trying to be it right, and he just seemed like the perfect cast for it. And my buddy Joseph said, I always thought the bridge scene was fan made, and then was used later. I don't remember the details on that, but there was something like, they're like, well, we got to recreate this scene for the film. And as far as I remember, they did. Was there stuff in the fan made in the trailer or the teaser that wasn't in the movie, or did they pretty much use it? Kat, do you remember?
They spot on copied it, but they changed a few things. Like, first of all, the song was different in the movie than it was in the trailer, in that little teaser trailer. Some of the characters that he was fighting in the teaser were like different ethnicity. Like, there was one guy that was Asian that he was fighting in the backseat became a white guy in the movie. But other than that, I mean, they pretty much kept it spot on. Of course, they put it on an actual freeway, which was in Canada, as opposed to, I think that was supposed to be a New York freeway they were on originally, because he takes place in New York a lot of the times. So they changed that and made it a little more lighter, opened up so you could see what's going on, as opposed to like a darker cityscape. But they pretty much followed it T to T, but just a few changes here and there. Mainly the biggest one being the music.
Well, principal photography began on March 23rd, 2015 in Vancouver, British Columbia, under the working title Wham! Filming took place at North Shore Studios and on location around the city. Production hired more than 2,000 locals and actors. Of course, we had T.J. Miller and Baccarin. They came on there, as well as Ed Skrein. He was confirmed, and newcomer Brianna Hildebrand was cast as Negasonic Teenage Warhead. Tim Miller and cinematographer Ken Sang wanted the film to look grittier and less clean and glossy than other superhero films. They decided to shoot with digital cameras, but add a film grain in post-production to give the images texture. I kind of want to touch on that a little bit, guys, because I think that the look of this film did seem grittier. Yes, of course, it was R-rated. We'll get into that a little bit later. But there was a different look to this film. And Lee, you kind of touched on that wonderful opening segment with the song and the slow motion and then eventually we see that play out. Kat, did you get the feeling that this was definitely, it had a different look and feel to it, other than the fact that we were breaking the fourth wall here?
Oh, absolutely. You could tell, just looking at his costume, if you looked at his costume at any behind-the-scene footage, his costume is very clean and crisp looking, but as soon as you put it in front of that filter, you can see it looks almost like it's dirty or stained, or, that filter, whatever they used, whatever that technology was they did, I think made the movie almost perfect.
Yeah, I agree with you. Lee, your thoughts on the look of this film compared, and Lacey, I want to get your thoughts too next, of how, outside of the wonderful portrayal of Deadpool and the characters in it, how it just had a different feel to it. And I totally forgot to tell people this, by the way. And because of the adult content of Deadpool, just want to give a little warning. Adult content may be said during this podcast. Some bad words like fuck and piss and shit and all that kind of stuff we've done. So I'm not just throwing that out there, but I want to give you a warning. You're going to probably get into that. Yeah.
So you used the one F-bomb there?
Yeah. No, you can say it again. We just want to give a little warning. There may be some bad words in adult content because
are we allowed to say wheezing bag of dick tips?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. But back to what I wanted to say. The look of this film compared to the other superhero and Marvel films that were coming out, DC as well. Lee.
I think that having it in this kind of lived-in universe, more stars than Star Trek, it's very pristine. Even when he's in, he's to have an open chest wound and still be, safe, and he has access to all this. Deadpool's apartment that he shares with Blind Al, it's disgusting. And it's awesome. You see, you know, like you said, this is a dirtier, grittier. Some of that is film grain. Some of that is the fucking language. But it's just a really cool departure from the from what we got in the X-Men, which was, other than the bar fight scene in the beginning of X-Men 1, was a very interesting world.
Very true. Very true. Lacey, your thoughts?
I think it was an interesting use of color and grain combination, because when you think about the comics, you know, with X-Men before, you know, you had all the kind of a lot of monochromatic colors, a lot of blues, a lot of silvers, a lot of, you know, polished visuals, and then you get into Logan, Wolverine, that kind of stuff, and you had a little bit more grit, but it was just more, it was darker rather than grittier, I think. Yeah. I feel like. And then with Avengers and all the different superheroes that Marvel kind of started popping out, a lot of that was like bright poppy colors, you know, the bright comic colors. And with Deadpool, they kind of threw it into a blender and slapped it back out, and I think it works well for the character. I think that the grit is part of what makes that character perfect.
Yeah. All right, guys. One of the coolest things about Deadpool is the marketing aspect of this film. And I want to get into the posters here, guys, because we have the classic Deadpool poster teaser. I have that t-shirt on right now. Classic look. Kat, this goes back a ways. This is like, this is based off something that's been around for a long time when it comes to the comics.
You're talking about his
this poster right here, this look.
Yeah, no, that's iconic. That is Deadpool. I mean, anyone that sees Deadpool will see that. That's why I got that, because it's iconic.
Yeah. Do me a favor, Kat. Hold that tattoo up again. I want to show people this real quick. This is awesome. Look at that right there.
There we go.
That just looks awesome. Well done. Yeah. So, go ahead, Kat.
I want to thank Shannon Ritchie. He's
Thank you.
An amazing tattooist that did that for me, and thanks, Shannon.
Yeah, Shannon's out of New York. I've got a tattoo from him at a Star Wars celebration. Great artist too, and he also did a custom comic book cover for my first issue of the Princess Leia run that came out several years ago. Wonderful artist.
I have it on one as well with Grundon.
All right, guys. We got a few more here. I got to show these to you. Okay, so we have this one. I remember seeing. This one, okay. First, if you guys are listening to the audio podcast, make sure you check out the video of this, because we've got these wonderful slideshows. And I remember seeing this billboard sign in Oakland, California, back in not in February, but I remember before that. And it's basically big emojis of the skull, the poo, and the L saying Deadpool. That was great.
I thought that was a chocolate yogurt emoji.
Reference from the movie. Well done there, Lee. Then we also have these banner. We have these banner posters here. Justice has a new face. Deadpool, February 12th. And I'm sure a lot of these were on billboards as well. Wait till you get a load of me, February 12th, 2016.
The classic Burt Reynolds post, too.
Yeah, that's right. I love this one here. Wait till you get a load of me, and it just shows a crotch shot, a little bit of dick bulge there. It's kind of nice with the gun. And then the classic, holding up the heart and stuff like that.
That's now iconic. That was not done in the comics, just so you know.
Yeah.
Everything else was.
Lacey, you're blushing there a little bit. What's going on?
Nothing. These are hilarious, and I loved all of them when I saw them the first time, and they're just as funny now. Cracks me up. Love it.
My buddy Joseph says, Kev, got to show Raider Deadpool. Yeah, our buddy Wade. Anyway, this is another one. Badass, smartass, great ass Deadpool coming soon. And I love the one with the sweater here. This is pretty funny. Kind of has a
looks like the 40-year-old version.
Yeah, 40-year-old virgin kind of look.
Exactly. I think that's what it's supposed to be. Exactly what it is.
But what I loved about the promotion of this the most was how, and they say this in the film, that it's a love story. And so they were releasing promotional romantic film posters to maybe help the guys out there to get the girls to come to this on Valentine's Day, and they go, "Wait a minute, that's a boy film, right?" It's like, no, check out this poster. It's
a love
True
story.
Love Never Dies on Valentine's Day. Do you remember this, Cat?
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that one, and I was just like, that's probably going to bring a lot of women in to see this movie with their boyfriends. They may not be boyfriend and girlfriend when the movie ends, but it'll bring them in.
Yes.
They wait until International Women's Day is over.
Yeah.
Lacey, do you remember these different promotional posters? Because they were all over the place.
Yeah, the AMC over, I think it was at Phipps, had the
in Atlanta.
The I think it was like a 50 by 25 foot, vinyl, the huge vinyl of it that hung like behind, in the windows behind the AMC. There was nowhere else they could put it because it was so big. Yeah, and it was fantastic. And it was the lovey-dovey one. It was the Valentine's with the.
That's just brilliant. Yeah. I love it. Mm-hmm. I love it. Because technically it is a love story, which is nice.
It is.
But I want to talk about
for the love of his girlfriend.
I want to talk about the cultural aspect of this film, guys, because this was kind of a risk. You had the fourth wall breaking, which had to be done with Deadpool. I'm talking to you about this, Kat, and you're like, they have to get this right. They got the right actor, obviously. Ryan was all over this and wanted to do it right. And it seemed like when it comes to the impact that this had, and it made a good amount of money, Kat, we knew we were going to see more of Deadpool.
Oh, yeah. 1,000%. We got Deadpool. We got Deadpool in video. Deadpool in video is another one. Deadpool 2. And Deadpool 3 coming out soon. X-Force. We got a lot of Deadpool coming.
It felt like Lee. There you go. Yeah.
I love that one so much.
Me too.
Lacey's got the Deadpool.
I want to fight Matt Lauer. I want to fight him in his stupid face.
Yeah, right there. Once Upon a Deadpool 2. Lacey, I wanted, regarding the cultural impact of this, we had all the Marvel stuff coming out, of course. Sure. The MCU. This was kind of a breath of fresh air, so to speak, even though it was covered with a lot of, fucks and really bloody stuff going on, and, a lot of pop cultural jokes as well, poking fun at people, literally poking fun at Hugh Jackman and being obvious about it. Give me your thoughts on that aspect of the film.
I think the first pop culture reference is the Mama June comment. And I had never seen that show, the Honey Boo Boo show or whatever. And so I was sitting there going, what? And afterwards, like I said, I only saw it with 3 people. And so afterwards, they brought it up on their phone to show me what the comment was. I was like, oh, okay, well, there you go. But it was hilarious all the way through. I mean, there were so many laughs that they overlapped the next bit of humor, which is, I think, part of the reason that I saw it 4 times, 3 days later.
Yeah.
So,
Lee, I want your input on the cultural impact this movie had, because it was pretty big.
This was crazy. This is one of those that comes around every few years that just sets a standard of what a comedy can be. About 8 years before that, it was Tropic Thunder. A while before that, we had The Hangover. A while before that, we had, the Superbad. But it's not just the language that makes it funny. It's the delivery. It's the setup. It's really the characters. And they had this perfect storm of a script written around Ryan Reynolds' strengths, which is snarky comment and being a dreamboat. And then it was assisted by guys that got it, the writers, the real heroes here. And I thought it was, and it allowed the genre to not take itself so seriously.
True. Kat, do you have something?
Also, the impeccable timing of all the characters working together just made it flow like water. It was perfect.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I wanted to just touch on, I love taglines from movies, whether it's on posters or whatever. Some of the great taglines for Deadpool, which I think is great, is with great power comes great irresponsibility. Witness the beginning of a happy ending. Badass, smartass, great ass, a new class of superhero. Sit on this. Wait till you get a load of me. Size matters. Feel the love Valentine's Day. Justice has a new face. And they messed with his face and kidnapped his girl. He's not used to being a hero, but he'll give it a whirl. Do you remember that? I don't remember that at all.
I don't remember the wool part, but I remember the first two.
That sounds like something the studio came up with and thought this is going to be the one that sells, and nobody cared.
I know, right? All right. I want to get your guys' thoughts on your favorite scenes. And Lee, I want to start with you. I just want to give a shout out again to those opening credits. I love it when a movie starts with opening credits. You mentioned that, but what else do you love? What is some of your other favorite scenes in this movie?
Honestly, when he goes to the guy's house and roughs up the pizza delivery kid.
Yes.
The manic talent that he has in that scene of just like walking in, scaring the crap out of chandelier butt guy. The pizza guy thinks that he's like watching, oh man, this jackass is gonna get it. He ends up getting threatened, and he goes just this split second psycho. It's like, okay, this is a murderer, like I said, soft spot. But you look at her again, you'll find out I have some hard spots too.
This poor devil right here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Like, he just, that switch, it's like, this is going to be somebody that is a capable killer. And then, of course, that amazing line, if you don't shut up, I'll kill the cat. I don't understand. I don't have a cat. Well, whose kitty litter just take this shit in? Like, where'd that come from? And, I love the Where's Francis montage.
Yeah.
This shit's going to have nuts in it. And then you go through like all these, the evolution of the costume, like, oh yeah, it's what is it? Club soda and lemon to get blood out. Or you could just wear red, dumbass. Like all these, great moments.
Don't steal everyone's thunder here, Lee.
Well,
That's
my montage scene. That's it. So
okay. Lacey, what were some of your favorite scenes?
Honestly, I think any scene with Dopinder.
Yes, thank you. I love Dopinder.
So he's so dry and so he's the quietest, most excited, quiet person I've ever seen. Like he's quietly excited about everything. No. And then anything with TJ Miller, I mean, face fucked a topographical map of Utah. Okay. I mean, absolutely.
You're going to die alone.
Yes. An avocado had sex with an older avocado. Or I mean, it
was unhealthy. It was hate fucking.
Yeah.
There was something terrible in the relationship. I mean, there was.
This is all they got left.
It's just fantastic. And of course, the outtakes on that, like the alts on TJ Miller and on it, just absolutely hilarious.
Kat, what are some of your favorite scenes of Deadpool?
The movie? The whole thing? No. I'm going to pick one that's obscure that people might not know. If you didn't read the comics, Deadpool ends up getting a sidekick called Agent Bob. Okay. And when he meets Bob and he starts talking to him, I'm like, they brought Bob in? Oh, please give him his own movie. Please let him be in the next one. And of course he wasn't. But that was probably my favorite part. And just the whole interaction between him and Bob. And like, didn't we have a back in? Like, yeah, it's back there. And then the other one I always loved was the superhero landing. Superhero landing. Boom. That's terrible on the knees.
Can confirm.
Oh, man.
I can too.
When it comes, I just rewatched it, and I love the scenes like when he gets his hand cut off, or he cuts his own hand off to escape, and he's with Al. And he's like basically saying you might want to leave because it looks so much bigger when I hold it and then when you do the flashback scene and you see him like jerking off with
the
oops, you weren't supposed to see that. Yeah, the flashback. That was so funny. But the scene
I hope
could
that's
watch.
one of Captain Boomerang's unicorns. Like, I want that to be a crossover too.
Yeah. The scene that I can watch over and over again, though, is when he's actually like strapped down and being tortured, and all of the dialogue that he's having with Ajax and Gina Carano's character, and how he's just testing him, and you got something in your teeth, and just, oh God. And then it kind of goes along, what's my name? And then, it's Francis. And you can tell Francis gets a little pissed. And he found out his real name. It was really, really good. Do you guys have any favorite quotes? I know we've kind of thrown some out there, but do you guys have any favorite quotes, Lacey?
I love it when he reminds Agent Smith that they're within 500 feet of a school, so he'll have to leave out the back door. Then just the Happy International Women's Day.
What about you, Cal? Do you have any favorite quotes?
One of my favorites is when he's in the bed with his girlfriend. He's like, "Oh, Star Wars." She's like, "Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, bitch."
Lee, do you have any favorite quotes?
I just got to say, wheezing bag of dick tips again, just because it's so much fun to say. But like, it's going all the way back to Blade 3, which is where the conversation with him playing Deadpool started. He played Hannibal King, and he called one character a cock juggling thunder cunt. Yeah. And it's like, it took him that long to one up that line, and it was brilliant. And then same scene when he's talking to Colossus, he's like, "I'm gonna do one of two things. I'm gonna kill that wheezing bag of dick tips, or I'm gonna smack the bitch out of you."
Yeah. My buddy Joseph says when he fights the two Chinese girls and he feels bad.
This feels bad. This feels so wrong.
Is it more politically incorrect to smack you? Is it politically incorrect? I don't.
This one made me laugh so hard, though. I love when Colossus says, "You will come talk to Professor Xavier," and he's being dragged, and he goes, "McAvoy or Stewart? These timelines get so confusing." I thought that was a good one.
And any reference to the studio, you'd think they'd hook us up with at least one X-Men, or like the studio couldn't afford
an extra X-Men. Yeah. It's a pretty big house you have here. Couldn't put another X-Men, could you?
In Deadpool 2, I love how they upped that ante on that one.
Yes.
That was really, really funny. Guys, I want to talk about the cast. Let's start here with director Tim Miller on the set here. If you're watching the video, of course. So we got Ryan Reynolds. Seems like Tim got it. I know he didn't return for the second one, but he seemed like a good director for it. I think this was his first big movie, if I remember correctly. But guys, Ryan Reynolds, let's talk about him real quick. Lacey, perfect Deadpool.
Well, I've loved Ryan Reynolds forever. Just all the way back to like The Alarmist and all. Like way, way back. So, when it comes down to it, this is not really a stretch for his personality. Minus the serial killer aspect or whatever. I loved it. His comic timing is perfect. He's got that like super, super quick wit that it is required for Deadpool. Yeah.
Buddy Ryan, is it? My good friend there, the G.I. Joe Real American Head cast. It says Ryan was perfect for Deadpool. Nathan says perfect Green Lantern? ?
Be quiet, Nathan. Don't make me come visit you.
What about you, Kat? Let's talk to you about Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, look at that sexy beast. And then, of course, there's Ryan Reynolds, too. I meant the unicorn.
Your thoughts, Ryan Reynolds?
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Like Lacey said, timing perfect. Humor is perfect. He got into shape to make it for his body to look just like it would look in the comics. Thank God I did them small feet, though, because that would be really bad. Then, other people in the comic world will know what that means, so they'll have to figure out that joke later. He nailed it, hands down. Nobody else, I don't think, anywhere in the movie business, I think, could even come close to the seriousness, the comedy, the intrigue he has, and his timing.
Lee, thoughts?
Absolutely loved it. In my own personal headcanon, Wade Wilson is the identity that Monty from Waiting took on when he went into hiding after killing several customers. The amount of snark and psychosis he has in this.
Back up. Who did you just reference?
The movie Waiting.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes, I forgot about that film.
And if you've ever waited tables, this is exactly how psychotic and snarky and perverted waitstaff are. So, like, I truly believe this is actually Monty.
That's actually a good play. I forgot his name, so I didn't get to him. But I saw Lacey. She's like, I got it. I thought Ryan was great in this. I've always been a fan of his. I like the romantic comedies he's done. But I think what's really important here is that he took a risk to, I think, just totally take on the mantle of this character. And I think he listened to the fans. He knew what the fans wanted, and he wanted to get it right. And I think that he nailed it. And he's also been extremely entertaining promoting these films. And I think that, he's always kind of had that thing he's always had that Ryan Reynolds-y thing. And I think my friend Aaron at the G.I. Joe Real American Headcast kind of touched on that. But it's something that we like seeing. And he's got this kind of delivery he's always had. And I think it's just lent well to the character of Deadpool. Wouldn't you agree, Kat?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I said, his personality and his nature, he nailed it. Nobody else could do it. I don't think anyone else could do it as good as he did it.
Let's talk about the rest of Cat. I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. For you, sorry, had a moment there. For you fans of Firefly, of course, we've had this lovely girl here. Morena Baccarin is Vanessa. We also have, of course, Ed Skrein is Ajax Francis. And, of course, Dopinder, Colossus, Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and I'm sorry, what's Gina Carano's character called?
Angel Dust.
Angel Dust. And then, of course, we've got T.J. Miller's character. I want to get your thoughts on the rest of the cast there. Let's start with you, Big Lee.
I think this was kind of like Ryan Reynolds is perfect for Deadpool. I think Gina Carano was perfect for Angel Dust. She kind of torpedoed her own career the last couple of years, but she really brought exactly what was needed to a superhero franchise. She had some physicality. This is not, speaking as a stunt actor, this isn't somebody that was just kind of doing choreography and relying on everyone else to react to her. She was fighting, and obviously she has a background in pro wrestling and MMA. Absolutely love Morena in all sorts of everything. She was amazing in this. It's an interesting role because it was so dirty and naughty and yet so tender. Like taking, their love story is on the humor of it and the darkness and the complexity and the truth is almost like Russian tragedy. I mean, it's that good. So, I could go on and on, but I really think that these are, some pretty amazing casting choices.
Kat, your thoughts on the cast, the rest of the cast?
I right there with Lee. Everyone did an amazing job. Even the computer-generated characters did a great job too. I mean, who would have thought that one? But yeah, I mean, Francis Ajax, great villain. Tim Miller was a great one-off with Ryan Reynolds and the banter back and forth. Dopinder, just hilarious in his dry sense. Everyone was perfect. I mean, they picked the right people. Like you said, Ryan loved this so much, and it was his child. He wanted to get the right people to do the right thing. And whoever they picked to pick him, A+ to them.
Lacey, your thoughts on the cast?
The cast all around was fantastic. I think that we really should talk about Brianna a little bit. Is it Brianna? NTW. She was so perfect. And the actress has been, she's done a lot of stuff for, someone her age. And, this is one of her first, few things. But she's recently done, she was in a film opposite John Cena recently. She played Lucifer's daughter in the Tom Ellis iteration of Lucifer in I think the 5th or 6th season. She's going to be up there in the future. I think she's got a huge career ahead of her.
Yeah, well said. Well said. I thought the cast was great. I loved just the chemistry and how everyone kind of had a moment too. And I'm glad you gave a shout out to Dopinder.
Love Dopinder.
He cracked me up. I just love the moments between Deadpool and Dopinder, and you know how Deadpool is invested in him and his girlfriend that he wants to marry, and and he didn't have money, and just love Dopinder.
Give them advice.
Yeah, exactly.
Kill him.
Locks his what was it? His romantic rival in the trunk.
Yeah.
Yep. And then gets rear-ended.
Rear-ended.
Love it. So this movie did well, guys. I don't know if you know this or not, but it's an hour and 48 minutes, released February 12th, 2016. And let's see what else we got going on here. The budget was $58 million. Not a lot compared to the big movie budgets that go over $100 million. The opening weekend in the US and Canada, recorded on February 14th, Valentine's Day, it was $132 million, which is pretty impressive. R-rated superhero film.
Mm-hmm.
And worldwide gross $782 million. We have some critical responses here I want to mention. Rotten Tomatoes film holds an approval rating of 85%, with an average rating of 7.1 out of 10. The critical consensus reads, fast, funny, and gleefully profane, the fourth wall-busting Deadpool subverts superhero film formula and wildly entertaining and decidedly non-family friendly insults. I want to touch on this fourth wall thing real quick, guys. I thought, first of all, I used to do improv, and improv is kind of like a little bit about that a little bit. And I thought it didn't feel weird to me. That's the thing. I wasn't looking at it going, wow, this is weird and uncomfortable. And Kat, you mentioning that this had to be a thing because he did it in the comics, just like we've seen recently with She-Hulk, done really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
They really pulled this off well, and it just felt like they were bringing us into this adventure of breaking the fourth wall.
Well, it's because they didn't saturate you with fourth wall breaking. They did it a few times, the right times, with the right comments, and then sort of let it just trickle back to the story. So they didn't, constantly, okay, guys, we're going to break the fourth wall here and tell you what's going on. Instead of it's like, da-da-da, oh, yeah, and he did that too. And then, back to the story. So they kept it very fluid and did it, like I said, the right times. They did it, maybe like 8 times in the movie, I think they broke the fourth wall.
Yeah. Lacey, did it feel natural to you, or did it take you a while to get used to it?
No, it didn't bother me at all, not in the least. And I think that the point is that when they started with the credits saying God's Perfect Idiot, some hot chick, the true heroes, I think
the British villain.
With a British, so that set it up for a very specific tone. And I think once people started reading that and realizing, okay, so they're really taking the piss here. Like, this is going to be, they weren't taking themselves too seriously, which was a huge part of Deadpool. So I think that really did kind of pave the way for all the fourth wall breaks.
What about you, Lee? You've done a lot of theater and film. Fourth wall breaking usually isn't a thing, but what did you think?
I think that it really works well because, there's two things. That film should be storytelling, and the storytelling requires a voice. When you have decided that this is the structure of a movie, that everything has to be ABC, going back to Tropic Thunder, Ben Stiller has that comment in there, like, my audience needs to know when it's okay to get up and take a piss. When you break that mold, you run a risk, but you also give people something new, and it makes them listen instead of just kind of let it roll over them. And I think by setting it up right away, again with that great opening shot, and then we get the beginning of that fourth wall break, the narration, the comedy. Suddenly, you're giving the audience a reason to listen, a reason to watch, and a reason to pay attention, which has been done with shiny objects and other things, but in this case, it was done through storytelling, which is one of the oldest methods of art we have, and I think they did a really great job with it.
Yeah, this was what I found fascinating about this film, and I want to mention a couple other comments regarding the criticism or critics. Rolling Stone Peter Travers said the film goes too long and repetition dulls its initial cleverness, but with the junky feel is part of its charm. He praised the cast, particularly Reynolds, as well as Tim Miller's action sequences. And the Hollywood Reporter said, felt the film took a while to get going, but once it does, Deadpool drops trow to reveal itself as a really raunchy, very dirty, and pretty funny goof on the entire superhero ethos. And there was something to me that kind of rang true to what I was kind of feeling. As much as I love this film, I feel like, because it starts off with the whole bridge thing, and then it kind of breaks away for it while you get this whole backstory thing. And it feels like the first hour and a half, it all revolves around coming back to this famous bridge scene and Colossus coming in and getting Deadpool and him cutting his arm and stuff. And then it goes to the other action sequences. And it, in a way, it kind of takes you, I don't know. It was a very interesting way to tell the story. And as much as I love the film, it's still, I'm not going to say it bothers me, but it's just one of the little things that I feel like it does drag it on a little bit. Am I the only one out of these four of us here that feel that way? Anyone else? Explain, Lee.
I think that one of the things that the audience needs to be respected for is that we understand that a superhero exists. We understand that they have powers. We understand the XYZ. When we get yet another origin story for Batman, it's like, oh, he's going to eventually become this. He's going to eventually become that. When you start off with it and boom, and then in this case, we get a reason why he's there. And basically, it's the plot of Joe versus the volcano. Some rich guy is using him for his own reward. And he decides, no, I'm going to escape this in a fiery apocalypse. This is the plot of Joe versus the volcano. By starting there saying, hey, this is what you came here to see. This is the movie you're watching. It allows the audience to get that, okay, I know where this is going. And then we get to move on to the next thing into the next thing. Instead of like slowly building up to Deadpool, the one that we know. I think that it allows the Ryan Reynolds character we see being nice to the kid dealing with her stalker. It allows that person to coexist with Deadpool. And I don't think in a linear fashion that character exists as Deadpool.
Right. Kat. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Lacey.
You also have to think that if they did do it chronologically, it would be a whole lot of drama and then a whole lot of humor.
Yeah.
Because it's literally, it's drama and then action humor.
What do you think of this criticism or thoughts on
I love the way they did it. Me being a huge Deadpool fan, reading the comics, it felt perfect to me. I loved how it started quite literally the middle of the movie. Then it went to the beginning of the movie to explain who he was and why he became what he was. Then went back to the middle of the movie and then finished the movie. So they sort of did a, Jotunheim kind of, fin fang boom thing. We're eating his own tail and then finishes off.
Well said. All right, guys. I want to get into the video releases here. Do me a favor, guys. Grab your copies, your Blu-ray, DVDs. Hold it up for us real quick.
Oh, mine's over on the shelf.
That's all right. Everyone hold them up here.
Or all of them.
Yeah, have a little fun. Right here.
Oh,
so I want to bring this up because this movie had a
dude. I love that one.
I got that one. Hold that up a little bit closer to the camera there, Kat. Yeah, there you go. Hold it. I'm gonna hold mine up. Lacey, hold hers up. Hold them up. Yep, there you go.
Sorry.
There you go. Let's see your face too, Kat. Come on.
Kat's Deadpool thing should be like a Trapper Keeper cover.
I know, right?
Amazing.
I found that copy for him in Australia, and I had to send it to him because I thought it was really, really cool.
I love it.
But when it came to the video release, guys, They were very, very clever. First of all, I remember walking into a Walmart, but this is before I think the actual video came out. They released all of these other Fox-related releases with Deadpool alternate slip covers. And I myself have some of these, and I want to show you real quick. Let me go ahead and show
how many do you have, dude?
First of all, I have the Revenge of the Nerds version right here, and it comes with $5 for Deadpool 2 money. So there you go. I guess this was probably released afterwards. Okay, but everyone on the back said, "I wish I was in this movie, but I'm not." And I also got the Terminator version right there. It's pretty cool. And I had to also get the Predator version as well. Look, notice the squirt gun he's got there. It's pretty funny. Mm-hmm. But I got to show this to you guys real quick though. I mean, that's a display stand that was in a Walmart. And as you see, they have the good, the bad, the ugly. And there was even a picture of Deadpool holding up a Deadpool Laserdisc and VHS copy. That was just done for fun. There was probably a VHS fake copy that was put out there with a DVD in it, but I would love to have that Deadpool right there.
That's amazing.
Do you guys remember these coming out, Lacey?
Oh yeah. I'm a kind of a purist when it comes to my movies, but these were hilarious. I definitely stood there at the
Did you pick up one at all?
No. I'm like I said, I'm a purist when it comes to my movies because I would end up having to put them all under M for Marvel, under D for Deadpool, and that would make it really hard for me to find things like, Terminator. Yeah.
The Castaway one is hilarious because it's Wilson, but with the Deadpool mask.
That's amazing.
Kat, do you remember these at all? Oh
yeah, I think I have 14 of them. I some of them I just couldn't find. Like they didn't have the good, the bad, the ugly, and they didn't have the Predator one when I went. But I have the Terminator one. I have the Revenge of the Nerds one. I have the Wilson one. I have a majority of those on that display.
I remember when these came out, and I think I got maybe originally around 8 of them or something like that. But people were buying these up because these movies weren't very expensive. They were about $10 or less, depending on the film. And so they were very affordable. And, if you didn't want the slipcover, you would just take it off. And then underneath see if I have, here we go. Here's the Predator one right here. I'm going to show you the Predator one. You take off the slipcover. It's basically the original Predator,
the Predator.
Release, But people were buying these up and selling them complete collections. And I remember seeing them go for over $200, $300 right when they first came out. It was crazy.
I remember seeing that too.
But one of the most brilliant promotional DVD promotional movies I've ever seen, or promotional moves for video release. And I guess this was promoting the Deadpool 2 movie that was coming out. So I did get my time wrong there. But I just thought that this was fantastic, and they were selling out quick. Do you have a favorite one, Kat, of the ones that are out here?
Oh, honestly, no. I really don't. I thought mine are all still sealed. I haven't opened them, and I'm keeping them.
There was a Logan one, an Edward Scissorhands one.
Yeah.
A Fight Club one.
Office Space.
I kind of wish I would have. Maybe I don't know. I kind of wish I'd gotten the Office. My Cousin Vinny as well was done. It was great.
Yeah. I think it was more for the Fox to, if somebody bought it and opened it and watched it, goes, "Oh, this isn't Deadpool. This is let me watch this movie and see what this is about."
Yeah. Kind
of deal as well. But it was an amazing marketing plan.
I want to touch on the different versions, the alternate versions. The theatrical and DVD releases were censored by the CBFC in India to secure an A rating. Asshole, motherfucker, balls, blowjob, touching myself, 24 ball gags, vagina, bitch, dick, suck a cock, testicles, and dildo were all muted.
Wait, what were those again?
I'm sorry, repeat that.
Asshole, motherfucker, balls, blowjob, touching myself, 24 ball gags, vagina, bitch, dick, cock, dig, damn it!
I'm sorry.
Almost had it.
His tongue got caught up on all that cock. And the
Damn
ball
it!
gags just got in the way of his pronunciation.
Almost had it again, man. Almost had it again. I was I was having a Scott Pilgrim flashback there for a second. The triple headshot in the highway fight was removed. Can you imagine that? That was like one of the best shots.
Mm-hmm.
The triple headshot.
And by the
removed.
way, Aaron, I just want to let you know this is not a family-friendly episode. We had a little, warning at the beginning of the show. So if you just came in on it, your kids are watching it. Sorry.
Balls.
Nudity, thrusting, and innuendos were removed from the sex scene. Deadpool cutting his hand off was removed, replaced with shots of Colossus. A poster showing a woman touching her vagina was removed. Shots of naked women in the strip club were removed. Oh, man. Stan Lee was the only thing in that scene, I guess.
The movie would be 7 minutes long. I'm like trying to what's left?
The freeform print removed all uses of fuck.
What the fuck for?
It's a fucking rated R movie.
There's a
go ahead. Please.
there's a thing you can put on your TV for people who are like I have a friend who's pretty religious, and so they have this. It's a thing they put on their TV where it goes through the movie and it edits out everything that is not, you can set your own parameters. But Deadpool ended up being 26 minutes long.
Wow.
I can imagine that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was like 26 or 24. Yeah. It ended up being like really short.
Exactly.
So they basically removed the entire movie.
Yeah.
Just like Nathan said. Yeah.
But years ago, Mad TV did the edited for TV version of The Sopranos on the PAX network. Just go watch it. It's amazing. Will Sasso does an amazing James Gandolfini impression, but it's really good.
Nice.
I want to give a shout out to the special effects here, guys. There's a shot of the bridge scene where Colossus, where the guy's wearing the mocap suit. I thought the effects were just phenomenal, and it starts off with that awesome opening scene. But Kat, I think that the violence is something that we do have to just touch on real quick here, because this movie was very violent, but it was done in a very theatrical way. And it wasn't like, I don't know, maybe cutting up, the only thing that was cringeworthy for me was Little Baby Hand. I mean, I'm just like,
it's
oh
like
my
a little
God,
spoon.
no. Give me all the blood shots and this, the swords through the body, the heads being cut off. But that was cringeworthy for me. But the violence, Lee, you work in movies, and you're going to be having your gun segment coming up here very shortly. You've seen a lot of violent films. The violence in this movie was fantastic. I got to give it that.
Yeah, there is when he catches up to Jared, aka Agent Smith, in the warehouse. There is a move that he does to one of the bodyguards. He stabs him in the chest with a sword. Then he jumps on the handle and rides it straight down.
Yeah.
That to me is amazing. I absolutely that just kills me. I love it. It killed him too.
Killed him too.
Yeah, getting
Lacey.
Stabbed in the head, and then the guilty feet of I mean, at a certain point, again, comedy is tragedy plus time. These are all horrible, horrible things to do to a person, and we can't help but laugh.
Lacey, your thoughts on the violence of this film? You kind of get cringy sometimes with certain violence, don't you?
Only in horror movies. I'm not interested in watching someone eat someone's guts out or something like that. I don't want to see cannibals and stuff like that. But there's a certain aspect of horror comedy that I can dismiss all the cringy stuff. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I think the cringiest thing is something like the bloody leg in Cabin Fever or something like that. That's the kind of stuff that really cringes me out.
Yeah.
None of this offended. None of this. This was all absolutely expected and endorsed and excited. I loved all of it. It was fantastic.
Not even the weird doll hand.
Well, it was used for such comic effect that it didn't really. There wasn't time for me to be like, ugh. It was just. It was so funny.
Kat, what are your thoughts on the violence of this film?
There was violence in this movie? Wait a minute, when? Hold on, I missed it all. I will say my favorite violent scene, though, one of them, was when he was counting down the bullets, when he had 12 bullets left to kill all the guys on the bridge.
Yeah.
And he flips over the car and shoots the 3 guys in the head with 1 bullet. And all you see is... Like, yeah, this is good. This is going to be good.
And
that
then
just
it
reminded
drops
me
on the
of...
number 3rd guy's forehead.
And the random, after Colossus says something about his violence and killing people, the random guy that was stuck to the sign just falls off the...
He was already up there.
Before we got here.
Could we talk about
we
Wade
got
just
here,
breaking his limbs,
Aaron says...
punching...
What was that, Lee?
Yes.
Can we just talk about Wade breaking all of his arms and legs, beating the crap out of Colossus?
Yes.
Like, that hurts
Now
so
we know
much.
what really killed the dinosaurs.
Aaron loves...
and the hand has got the finger up.
Oh, my God. Yes, when he cuts off his own hand and Colossus looks at the severed hand and he's got the middle finger.
And Negasonic laughs.
Yes. Aaron here at G.I. Joe Real Market Headcast, he says he loved the baby Deadpool hand. You're sicko, dude. No, it was funny. It was good. It was good. Okay, guys. Now, there's certain movies that we like, Lee, because it's good gun porn. For those of us that like good weapons and weapons being used in movies, especially when they're cool weapons and they get good death scenes by cool weapons, we go to the Internet Firearms Database to get more information on these. Lee has a segment that I like to call Guns, Guns, Guns. And this, of course, is from the movie RoboCop with my favorite villain of all time, Clarence Boddicker. And we've used it, of course, I think on Aaron's podcast. I'm sorry, not Aaron's podcast. Adam's podcast, Lethal Mullet. We talk about guns, one of my favorite things. And Lee, you wanted to have a little gun segment here. Now, we want to stipulate here, you actually are not only a stuntman, you are a weapons wrangler. And
yes.
The weapons that you are about to talk about and you show are actually not real guns. But you do want to talk about the guns that were in Deadpool. So before you show your guns, why do you want to have a gun segment in Deadpool? Why is this gun porn to you?
Because they've got an awesome collection of firearms. This isn't just your standard, I've got a Beretta and an AK and AR-15. They really went to some fun places with all this. And like you said, I work as an armorer in film. And also, as you said, everything I'm about to show you is a safe prop. These are non-working firearms. I built an armory over the last year after the incident on Rust, because that is... having a live weapon on set is irresponsible, even though I have been on sets where it's happened. You can make them as safe as you want. Those are still firearms. So that said, they have the coolest guns in this movie. So,
well, let's start off with the classic Desert Eagle that we have here, Lee.
Yeah.
What you got there?
Now, this is a new purchase I got just recently. This is the Desert Eagle, IMI, Israeli Military Institute. This is chambered in 50 AE, which is a huge round. If you want to kill somebody and 3 people standing behind them, this is the round to go for it. Unless your henchmen have like really solid foreheads, like number 3 did in there.
Deadpool's got 2 of these, buddy.
Yeah, I know. I've got a second one too, but I don't have enough room right here by my desk to have all of these. One interesting thing about this, though, when you watch these act, notice how the full slide doesn't come back. This part is kept solid so that it retains weight, so you don't have a high muzzle raise. So it's an interesting little thing there. The orange tip is going to be removed, but I kept it on there for our thing today. That is basically something that allows it to be sold as a toy, or if you do mil-spec airsoft shooting, you use these. I use these only for film. So this will no longer have an orange tip by the end of next week. So
gotcha. We got, of course, this awesome little gun here that Al has, and then then was used to basically kill Ajax at the end.
Yep. This is a nice little pocket 25, based on a John Browning design, who is kind of the main gun designer of the late 19th and early 20th century. We're still using designs like his to this day. And I know you already have this on another slide. I'll just pull it up. But the venerable 1911.
Nice.
Which is just a fantastic. This is a Combat Master version, as you see down there in the lower corner. Right above that, we do have. Where'd my Glock go? Yes, we have the Glock. Not my favorite firearm, but definitely a very common one. These are polycarbonate frames, a lot lighter. I have big hands, and they're not meant for people with big hands. This one, however, is the H&K USP series, a fantastic firearm. I promise I'm not getting any stuff from them, but they do make awesome stuff.
We got some submachine guns here too.
Yeah. Speaking of H&K, what we have here is the.
Hold on, that is a direct prop from Navy SEALs, 1990, right?
I wish it was. This is a H&K MP5 silenced. Navy version. It's got the extending stock here, all that sort of fun stuff. When this is a gold standard firearm, this is the 9mm submachine gun that you want. There's really nothing to compare to it. The closest they ever got is the one in the top right corner there. That is the H&K MP7. This is chambered in the 5.7, kind of an Uzi style design. You can still have the extending stock. This one's got a nice little functioning foregrip, but fantastic.
Who makes that one?
This is also H&K.
Okay, that thing is gorgeous. I remember first seeing that in Zombieland.
Yeah, and it fires an intermediate round, bigger than a standard pistol, but not quite a rifle round. A beautiful firing weapon and kind of crazy.
It seems like that's the new weapon that they use in movies and television now as the submachine gun. Like we saw Uzis using, like the Uzi in the picture here in the bottom right, which was also used in the film. That seems like that's the new version of Uzi now.
It's very compact, and again, that round is just that little bit bigger. Now we're getting into some of the fun stuff here. I didn't grab all of these because I just didn't have room, but I do have, this is the FAMAS. As you can see, this is the bullpup design like we see in the bottom right corner there. The bullpup, basically, the barrel starts at the magazine and goes all the way to the end. So it allows for a longer overall rifle in a shorter package.
I'm sorry. I'm having totally Call of Duty flashbacks right now.
But when we talk bullpups, there is an important one. Al did have this. And that is kind of the quintessential, the Steyr AUG, also used by Carl in Die Hard.
Yeah, is that an Australian one or where's that
Austrian?
One from? Austrian, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This is a fantastic firing weapon. Just really crazy, good stuff. The other two weapons that we have in there, one is a Galil, which is just fantastic. And then the FN Scar, which is a modular variation.
That's the one in the upper left-hand corner, right?
Yeah, and it may be improvement on the M4 or M16 platform. It's up for a debate there.
Love the shotguns here. That one at the top kind of reminds me of the one that the Joker used in the Heath Ledger in the Dark Knight. Then we got the Laws rocket at the bottom left, and then we got the pistol grip shotgun as well there, right?
Yeah, and if you're using a shorty shotgun like this, that pistol grip, you're not using it necessarily just to pull back. You use it to push forward so that this gun doesn't come back and smack you in the face. That's not just prettiness. If anybody out there has ever tried to fire a shotgun without a stock, even if you have baseball glove hands and the muscle mass that I do, those things will try to fly out of your hands. Now the Law, I fired the upgrade to this back when I wore a certain shade of green for Uncle Sam. There are very few things in this world that will put lead in your pencil like a rocket launcher. It is It's an experience, ladies and gentlemen. You don't even know until you've done it and watched something go boom because you did it. I got to do a few things like that back in the day, and man, there's something special.
Well, that has been Guns, Deadpool gun porn by Lee. Lee, thank you so much. That was really cool.
You're welcome. I have one more real quick, if I may.
Oh, yeah, please, go ahead.
Yeah. The bad guys on the helicarrier at the end were carrying belt-fed M240 Bravos.
Wow.
The Saw. I have this one is the Bucky version, so we can actually pull the stock out, go there. And it's silenced because silencing a machine gun is always a good idea. I just got this one and I wanted to show it off. So thank you for humoring me, Kev.
Nice. I just wanted to touch on the soundtrack real quick, guys. That's what we got going on next here. Lacey, was there anything about the soundtrack that jumped out at you? Because first of all, we had the mention of Wham. All right, let me get the picture up here real quick here. So we have Angel of the Morning, which was the opening montage scene by Juice Newton. We had Shoot by Salt and Pepper. Calendar Girl by Neil Sedaka. The Deadpool Rap by Team Headkick. X Gonna Give It To Ya by DMX.
What?
Yeah. And Careless Whisper by George Michael. Your thoughts on the soundtrack, Lacey? Did that jump out at you at all?
Well, first of all, we gotta stop saying wham and start saying
wham.
It
So
earned the exclamation point with this album.
Right? I actually wrote down Shoop and Angel of the Morning and Chicago, You're My Inspiration. I mean, some of these are just so it's always fun to watch something that is completely opposite the actual tone, and I think that this is where it just works so perfectly, the whole film. I'm not really one for music in general because I'm a weirdo, but the music I do listen to is always going to be from a soundtrack, and this is a good one.
Yeah, definitely. Anyone else have thoughts on soundtrack? Lee?
Angel of the Morning is just such a perfectly wrong song for that opening scene. And again, it's one of those things that just sets the tone. Like, you're not going to know what's happening. You're not going to understand this until the very end. But just beautifully done. I think it just matches the ridiculousness. And I feel like all the writers, the real heroes here, as well as, the creative team, all had Ritalin when they were kids and stopped taking it like I did. And they came up with a masterpiece.
Yeah, they definitely did. What about you, Kat? I know you like music to a certain extent. Did it jump out at you at all, the soundtrack?
Not really. I'm not a music person like Lacey. I mean, I like the songs. I thought the songs were perfect for the movie. I actually almost would have preferred the original song they did on the test footage over Shoop, but they did a good job. I mean,
what was the original song again?
It was Shoop with the opening sequence. Is that what you're talking about?
On the test footage.
What was the test footage music?
I don't remember the song, but I remember it wasn't Salt and Pepper. That's all I do remember.
Okay, cool. Well, guys, we got some Deadpool trivia here.
I gotta leave then.
I love this. Through a Make-A-Wish Foundation, 13-year-old Connor McGrath, a terminally ill fan from Edmonton, requested to attend the special event for Deadpool 2016 in January, which turned out to be one of the 2 special screenings in New York and Los Angeles for the fans. However, he couldn't make it due to the severity of his illness. Ryan Reynolds heard this story, traveled to Edmonton, and surprised him with a private screening of the film. Reynolds said the boy was the first person to ever see this film. They kept in touch until Connor's passing a few months later. Reynolds paid tribute to him on his social media pages. Thought that was very, very cool. During a talk at Google, Ryan Reynolds revealed that the taxi driver character, Dopinder, was named after a really cool guy he met in elementary school who died when hit by lightning. The character was meant to be a tribute to him. About 22 minutes in, after Vanessa and Wade have skee-balled and are trading in their winning tickets for
Balls
prizes.
in holes.
Balls in
Balls
holes.
and holes.
A large stuffed dog wearing a Deadpool attire can be seen hanging behind the counter. This refers to Dogpool, a canine version of Deadpool from the alternate universe. Kat, tell me about Dogpool. I need my Dogpool now.
It was I think it was 1 or 2 comics he was in, not counting when all the Deadpools combined together in one universe. So imagine watching an animated animal version of Deadpool.
I love it. I think that's great.
Dogpool.
I'm just hoping, because we've got the Guardians of the Galaxy coming up, where we get Rocket's origin story, and the High Evolutionary was the one that was experimenting on all these things. Maybe he's the one that created Dogpool, and this is how we get our shared universe.
I like where you're going with that, Lee. I like that. Ryan Reynolds is an awesome person. I don't know if you know this, but while filming, Ryan Reynolds visited sick kids via Make-A-Wish Foundation as Deadpool. Ryan Reynolds also said that Deadpool will be his last comic book character he will ever portray. However, that doesn't mean he won't do Deadpool sequels and or cameos. So that's nice to know. The Deadpool costume originally had a muscle layer beneath, but it had to be removed because Ryan Reynolds was so muscular. The costume was too tight for him. It made him look over large. So
That's why I say he looked really good in the costume. He actually filled it out just right.
On April Fool's Day 2015, Ryan Reynolds posted on Twitter that the film would be rated PG-13, which prompted fan backlash as a Deadpool character often swears and commits acts of graphic violence. Later that day, Reynolds confirmed that it was a prank and the film would be R-rated. Kat, do you remember this?
Oh yeah, I followed as soon as Deadpool became a thing and Ryan Reynolds started doing his Twitter stuff. That's when I joined Twitter, and I followed him, and everything he put up, I was watching it, like a hungry kid eating a cookie. Give me more, give me more, give me more.
In the trailer of the film, Wade Wilson requests, don't make the super suit green or animated. Of course, this is a reference to Ryan Reynolds' previous role as the DC superhero Green Lantern 2011, whose green suit was a special effects rather than an actual costume for Reynolds to put on. Deadpool pokes even more fun at this costume in a deleted scene on the Blu-ray copy of the movie. Reynolds was involved with revising the script with the writers, cast members, and were allowed to improvise in some of the scenes. And Ryan Reynolds said that there would be over 100 references throughout the entire film, including Easter eggs, pop culture references, cameos, and direct hits at other Marvel films. They're all over this film, guys. And I don't know about you, but I was enjoying every single piece of this. What about you, Lacey?
I was just going to say there's actually a special feature on the DVD if you get the director's whatever. It's all it does is go through the entire film and point out all of the Easter eggs.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, guys. What should we talk about next? We are done with the trivia right now. Guys. First of all, Kat, I want to give a shout out to you real quick. And I want to get your opinion on this. You have a Deadpool costume. You might even have a Deadpool mask nearby.
I do.
You have an awesome Deadpool costume. You went all out on this. And you've also done convention Deadpool costuming. I wanted you to give a little bit behind this because there is a serious, awesome collaboration among fellow Deadpool cosplayers and what they do at conventions. I want you to give you a minute here on the cosplaying of Deadpool.
You get to not be you. You get to put on a mask, a famous mask, red costume, and just be a complete asshole, but in a funny way, and people just love you for it. Want to take a picture with you? My very first dress up actually was with you at Star Wars Celebration as Deadpool Stormtrooper.
Yeah.
And I've never cosplayed. That was my first time cosplaying with you. And I remember just everyone stopping me. Give me a picture. I need a picture. I'm like, okay.
Dude, that mashup costume was a hit at Star Wars Celebration.
It was. I was so excited with it that when I wore it again to another con, it took me 15 minutes to get to the car, got dressed, took me an hour and a half to walk back. Why? everyone stop me. And that's Deadpool. And then you alluded to Deadpool's getting together. There's the famous chimichanga line at Dragon Con, which I got to be in when I was Deadpool. And that was amazing. Just everyone running through the con, sort of like you do with your
Wilro Hood.
Matt, not Willow Hood. Well, yeah, him, but the other one too.
Matt the Radar Tech. Yes, Matt the Radar Tech. Yeah,
and just we all stopped. We would do weird shit around other cosplayers and like whether it be sexual or violent, and they just like stood there and laughed and smiled, and it was just absolutely amazing. Will I do it again? 1,000%.
Nice.
When?
Very nice. Yes, Lee.
I just want to take a moment to announce I am doing a mashup costume. I'm figuring out the details, but I am doing a mashup. I'm going to go as Gandalf Lundgren.
Nice.
Gandalf Lundgren.
Yeah. So what I think I'm going to do is like the red boxing robe, but Gandalf style. So it'd be like a red satin Gandalf robe with the Russian hammer and sickle on it.
And a nuclear physics handbook, textbook.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Kat, what you got there, man? Oh.
This is my newest piece. It is my Deadpool Mandalorian.
Nice.
Deadpool Fett. So a buddy of mine made it all looking scratched up and everything. Came with the chest piece. But since you're making a mashup, I just thought I would display.
Nice. There you go.
Now I'm ready.
This is the way, asshole.
Couldn't hear a word you were saying. I smelled great.
I said, this is the way, asshole.
It is, yes. This is the way, asshole. But
well done. That's a great.
Happy International Women's Day.
This is the maximum effort way.
Yes,
Happy Maximum Effort Women's Day.
Love it. I love it. Well done, Kat. Well done, guys. Let's get into the sequels here. All right. Deadpool 2 came out. Cable was announced. Before I love this. This is great. Before Deadpool's release, Fox greenlit a sequel with Reese and Wernick returning to write the screenplay. Deadpool 2 was released on May 18th, 2018. And at the end of Deadpool, we got a tease to who the villain was going to be. Cable. Kat, start with you. What your thoughts are on the Deadpool 2 sequel?
On the Deadpool what?
Deadpool 2, the sequel.
Oh, I loved it. It was so much fun to watch. I wouldn't put as top of the list of Deadpool 1, but there was so many things that were fun. They brought in some more characters. Juggernaut, awesome. Peter, awesome. My biggest, and I said this before, and I said it during another podcast with you, I believe, was Domino. She did an amazing job, and she was great looking, but the hair still throws me off, because I'm so used to seeing Domino with long, slick, black, straight hair,
right?
And her having that big afro. I'm like, that's the only thing that took me out of that character was the poofy afro, which I know movies can do that. We've had a black Wilson Fisk from Daredevil. We've had other characters that are different ethnicities and races, and I don't mind the different race. It's just the hair.
Right.
You should have slicked that.
Any comments on the rest of the cast?
I love them all. Yuriko was great. Negasonic was great. Obviously, Cable, Josh Brolin did a phenomenal job. The special effects with the metal arm and everything they did was just spot on to his characters from the comics. In the early comics, when he's always tweaking and tinkering with his arm, it was spot on when he was doing it in the movie. Again, Peter, he was great.
Right.
I don't remember seeing the Vanisher in the movie though. That kind of disappointed me. And then of course all the characters they had for X-Force were actual characters in X-Force. My brain just stopped working. On the helicopter, when everyone dies, all those characters are actually from a comic, and they actually all die in their comic when they appear. So that was funny how that happened as well.
Lee, your thoughts on the cast?
I really loved it. The kid in this, he had to carry a lot of the baggage of the show. Did a fantastic job. Was not who Hollywood would normally have cast. He's heavyset. He's got an accent. He's a little weird, and I think that was a perfect person for Wade to play off of in this. I do wish that it had been Vinnie Jones back as the Juggernaut. That would have been fun, just to get that line, "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch," again, just to make people angry.
I thought the new line was pretty good. I'm going to break you now.
Yeah. I think Brolin was an inspired casting choice. Just really funny, especially, because he's also playing Thanos at the same time. And they have the Zip It Thanos line. The actor that's playing the headmaster at the school,
Eddie Marsan.
Yes, I've been trying to think of him. So good in this.
I remember him from Ray Donovan.
Yeah, I remember him from all of the Simon Pegg movies. He's in all of those, but a great guy. Just way too much fun. And honestly, Peter, it was so much fun going to cons and seeing that costume. Just a bunch of regular dads with a backpack on, and everyone wanted to get pictures with him. Like, it was like Cat, walking through. It's like, I have pictures with so many Peters that year. Wait, that didn't come out right.
Yeah.
It might have.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, Lacey, your thoughts on the cast, and what did you like in the movie?
I think that they sort of stepped everything up this time. I think the violence was much more violent. I loved that he got ripped in half, and then the baby legs and all that. I mean, it was just hilarious. I loved balls. Yep. I loved the cameo with Matt Damon and Alan Tudyk. Yeah. The whole, toilet paper is not enough conversation is legitimately funny. At the same time, it's not. It's a good perspective. I'm just saying. But I think that everything was just notched up just slightly, and I loved that. I loved when they took the joke about not having the studio throwing us a bone because the first movie made more than the guy that invented pants. And it was Passion of the Christ, and then us. That's domestic. Internationally, we beat them where religion doesn't exist. Things are just little nits. It's just perfect, and I loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good sequel. I loved the auditions for X-Force. I thought that was very, very funny. I didn't know what to expect. Wasn't Terry Crews one of the X-Force guys?
And Bill Skarsgård. Yep.
Yeah, and I had no idea they were all going to die. I thought that was funny. I liked how he went back and he saved Peter, right? Remember correctly? I thought that was great. And then the whole, was it Brad Pitt?
The Vanisher.
Looking like Mickey from Snatch.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit.
That's correct. Yeah. I love this. I thought it was a lot of fun. I just love the whole thing going between Domino and Deadpool about how Luck is not a superhero, yet you see that in the chase scene. They see Luck.
Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. I beg to differ.
It's just a bunch of simple tricks and nonsense.
Yes. All right, guys.
Are we going to hit Once Upon a Deadpool as well, or should that be included in this?
No, go ahead. Talk about Once Upon a Deadpool. Yeah, talk about that. Yeah,
okay.
Go ahead.
Don't waste your F-bomb.
It's part of my... honestly, I mean, I love Deadpool 2. It was great, but seeing this version of it was absolutely hilarious. The whole conversation that Fred Savage has about fridging Vanessa and the whole... kind of given the nugget of where that came from and all this was fantastic. All of the little pop-ins, the little Fred Savage moments were great. The final stinger for the film, the final coda, is not what it is in the original. It's actually Fred Savage at the very end, and I won't blow it, but it's absolutely hilarious, and it's worth the watch if you have the chance. It's
I love this. Inglorious PG-13. Yep. And you think about it, they re-released this film for the holidays.
Yep.
So because one of the biggest complaints that people had was like, I can't take my kids to see this superhero film.
Yeah.
Because it's R-rated, and they decided to release a PG-13 film, which I thought was brilliant.
Yeah, it was.
And the DVD, and so they make more money off the DVD, which is great. And you're right, the special features are fantastic. And you know what? When movies had to like tone down the violence for other, countries or whatever it is, or for a TV release, this is how you can make some money, have some fun with it, shoot some extra scenes with Fred Savage. It's just great. I thought it was just brilliant casting.
And then you're redefining kidnapping as unsolicited location enhancement,
Yes.
which is maybe my favorite line in the second one. In Once Upon a Deadpool.
I would have thought it was going to come back singing.
What I think is fun, and this is just my own headcanon, but this movie basically makes Super Troopers part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe because the character of Fred Savage exists in both universes. He's kind of a dick in both universes. And it's so much fun. The weirdest thing about this, though, I just watched Deadpool on Disney Plus with all the boobies and butts and vaginas you ever want to see. I can't find Once Upon a Deadpool on there.
Did you just say vaginas?
Yes, the traditional. I wanted to make it more awkward. Did it work?
Am I blushing? I don't know. It's vaginas.
Oh, man.
Oh, that was funny. Anyway, sorry. Deadpool on Disney Plus. Go.
Yeah, you can't. Once Upon a Deadpool isn't on there.
Is that
Why isn't it on there?
It's still 20th Century Fox.
Oh,
yeah, but
that's right.
Deadpool itself is on there, and Deadpool 2 is on there.
Well,
But
because
Once
it's
Upon
on
a Deadpool
Disney.
isn't.
Yeah, that's weird. You'd think that one would be on there.
It's the one that has like the rating that would match everything else in the MCU, and you can't do it.
This is the this was the 2-disc version, or no, I'm sorry, it was the DVD for part 2 that came out and had, I guess, the book inside of it too. I love this Deadpool 2.
Nice.
With the book, it's kind of like, and it says depressing books, and he's taking a little selfie, which I think is funny, and it's like this a little bit size of like a golden book, which I think is kind of funny.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That was brilliant packaging. When it comes to the physical media, this is great. But guys, let's talk about
F. Oh, sorry. Can we?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
Let's talk about the frenemy between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. I got to ask you guys. I want to ask your honest opinion. They've been having this fun back and forth frenemy relationship, and I have to admit, or I would have to assume, in a way, it's fabricated to create this buzz for what is now eventually happening with Deadpool 3. We saw that funny promotional gig where you see Ryan Reynolds making the announcement, and then you see Hugh Jackman walking behind brushing his teeth, and he goes, "Hey, you want to be in Deadpool 3?" He's like, "Okay." And it's been greenlit. It is happening. How it's going to bring Deadpool into the MCU, we're kind of waiting to hear this. But Kat, I know you're excited about this. Thoughts on Deadpool 3 coming up?
When I saw the preview, again, I was tagged like 45 times, something like that. And I watched it about 45 times, I think. And, I was tagged 40 times. I got to watch it 45 times, one for each tag. But I love just the idea. And then the second trailer they came out with him and Hugh Jackman sitting on the couch talking about the whole trailer. But of course, bleeping out, editing out, cutting out. So I'm like, I got to wait. When? When? Oh, man. Although, I've said this before, and I don't know if anyone's ever noticed it, but if you look at that picture again of the Wolverine slashing through the Deadpool symbol, there seems to be something, if you look at the right eye of the symbol, I swear there's something there that shouldn't be there, and I think it's meant to be something that's going to be in the movie, but I don't know if I'm right or wrong on that aspect. But you have to really look. It's like almost like a reflection of something in that
Yeah.
little section.
Or it could just be the metal that's peeled back. But
That's what I thought originally. But if you look at it closer, it doesn't look like metal peeled back. It looks like it's something supposed to be there purposefully.
Yeah. Lacey, your thoughts on seeing Deadpool 3 and just the whole thing with these two guys that are now getting jacked for this role, and they're poking fun at each other's social media pictures of being jacked. Check this out. Look at these pictures. Lacey, your thoughts?
Look, I love the whole thing, top to bottom, soup to nuts, whatever you want to say. I can't wait for this. I love watching all the little nitpicks back and forth. It's hilarious, and the ugly sweater gag and the Christmas party, it's just hilarious. And they've had it going for a decade now. Blake gets in on it and tags Hugh as her date for things and says sorry honey or whatever. And it's a great kind of ongoing saga of kind of like the inside joke for everybody, and I love it.
Lay, your thoughts on Deadpool 3 and this wonderful relationship between these two guys.
I think it's amazing. I'll go on record as being one of the guys that actually liked the Origins movie. And, I enjoyed it. It's punch stab the movie. I wasn't as invested in any of the characters. I didn't really know Deadpool at this point. And I just, he was a minor comic character, and I had spent several years out of the country at this point. So,
all right, fine.
But absolutely, I'm thrilled for it. The one person that I want to see in this movie more than anyone else, hands down, needs to be in the movie, Tom Holland.
Okay.
The Spider-Man friendship, or any of the Spider-Men, but that friendship that they have in the cartoons when they couldn't swear and be violent, and the way that they got around it to make it even funnier. There's one where Peter says, uh-oh, be careful for booby traps, and Wade starts laughing, and he's like, ha, 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 trap. And what he didn't say, and it's just fantastic. There's so many wonderful little things. But
Lacey, you said you want to mention something?
Yes, I would really like to see Keira Knightley have like a little tiny cameo.
Yes.
Why?
Just to follow up on the Ferris Bueller of it all from the first film.
Yes.
I need her. Just in a coffee shop in the background. Doesn't even just that. I feel like that's a kind of a fun little thing.
That's when Wade said, "Oh, she's got range," right?
Yes.
Wait, I want to find out that she's Chastity. That would be.
Kat, how are they going to tie Deadpool into the MCU? What do you want to see?
They've opened up multiple universes now. They have the multiverse. That's the only way I can think they're going to do it. They're just going to put him somewhere he can make, yeah, I've been here the whole time. I just didn't want to say anything. Oh, yeah, and I brought the X-Men with me, too. Here they are.
Well, we already saw Xavier in Doctor Strange 2. So at least that's the McAvoy version, or the Stewart version. So
yeah,
maybe
I want to mention that in a recent press for Picard season 3, Patrick Stewart was standing next to Gates McFadden, who plays Beverly Crusher, and the interviewer said, "Hey, Deadpool 3 is coming out. You guys obviously were together in Logan, wonderful movie. Do you know anything about you possibly being involved?" And Patrick Stewart said, quote, "I've been told to be put on standby." That's all he said.
Nice.
All right, guys. First of all, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you guys for watching live on YouTube. If you're listening to this, make sure you check out the YouTube. We got a lot of fun stuff that we were showing. This is the Fandom Podcast Network, Couch Potato Theater. We're celebrating Deadpool. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Deadpool. Hold up your copies again, guys. Lee, I don't know. Just show your. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Guys, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you for coming. And Lee, this is your fault for mentioning this, so thank you.
Hey, it was a blast. I thought of it last year, like too late. And I'm like, we got to do a Valentine's Day Deadpool because that was like the funniest release date back in 2016.
It sure was.
Shout out there to my buddy Aaron at the G.I. Joe Real American Headcast. Great show, guys. Loved it. And happy Valentine's Day. Appreciate that very much, man. Lee, where can we find you? People want to reach out to you on social media. Where can we find you?
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram, I'm at The Way of the Way. Facebook, I'm there under my name, Lee Fillingsness. You can also catch Madman Road Productions, my film company, Double Action Martial Arts, and an as yet to be named Armory Company. All of the names I want are taken, so I got to come up with something that's good. And it's coming down to like clown penis and fart. Like there's not many names left for an armory.
www.clownpenisfart.com.
I would see clown penis. I'd see that.
Classic SNL skit. I love it. I used to have a T-shirt with it.
I'm glad somebody got the reference.
I got it. That was great. Kat, man, thank you so much. When this was mentioned, I know that we had to kind of work around your schedule here. So thank you so much.
It.
I think too, if we did this show without you, you might have came out here and assassinated me.
Yeah.
So tell
you
fans,
only live 6 hours away. I would have been there. I would have been there.
Where can we find you on social media?
Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at StaticCat1.
I want to give a shout out to David Lozano. Clown fart for the win.
Well, I think now I have to call it that.
See what you started?
Lacey, where can we find you on social media? And also, too, you're coming up soon. You're going to be joining us for 1983 Time Warp. We're going to be talking about all the films of 1983. You are one of our most treasured guests on there. We're looking forward to having you on again. But where can people find you?
I am Lacey Pants on the Facebook and the Twitter and the Instagram and I think that's it. I don't post, but I follow people.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, guys, first of all, for those of you that are watching and commenting live on YouTube, thank you so much. And please subscribe to the Fandom Podcast Network on YouTube. Give us some likes, shares, comments as well. You know how the algorithm work. You hear it all the time. But please help us out, share, and get people on there as well. Our master feed for all of our audio podcasts can be found at fpnet.podbean.com. Also, too, please, we're on all major podcast platforms. Give us a shout out with reviews if you're allowed to do so. And check us out on Facebook, Fandom Podcast Network. You can email us at fandompodcastnetwork@gmail.com. We are also on Instagram and Twitter at Fandom Podcast Network. My name is Kevin. I'm on Facebook under Kevin Reitzel. You can also find me in the Fandom Podcast Network or on Twitter and Instagram at Spartan_Phoenix. Lee, thank you so much for coming on for this. Thank you for the idea. Please roll with the clownpenis.fart.com. I think that'll work great.
I did have one serious thing that I did want to mention, though. We did talk about the Make-A-Wish Foundation a couple times on this episode.
Please.
I've had the good fortune to work with them. And the celebrities get a lot of credit, and they should. What they're able to bring to these kids in the worst situations you can imagine is amazing. But being able to work with them the way that I have, I also see the work that the people in the office do, and the love and care that they do it with. This is an amazing group of people. It's an amazing idea. They're doing a great, nice thing for somebody who doesn't have much time. And I just can't imagine a better cause to give to, and better people to support. I've got a Star Wars movie that I worked on with them coming out later this year. Very proud to have been on it. I asked to be on it before I even knew it was Make-A-Wish. And, I've gotten to know the kid. He actually has a good diagnosis now, which is
nice.
Not as common, but it's really a great organization. So sorry to bring it down, but
no.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for bringing that up. Appreciate that. That was a nice little peek into the foundation, because you always hear about that and how a lot of these celebrities contribute their time and do this for people. So I think that's great. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. And this was a lot of fun. I hope you guys all enjoy your Valentine's Day tomorrow. Again, Lacey, Lee, Kat, thank you guys. Thank everyone in the chat. And David, and we'll give you a shout out here. Make-A-Wish is a great organization to support. So thank you very much for that. Until next time, guys, watch Deadpool. We're getting excited. Also, too, speaking of Marvel, please check out our True Believers Facebook page where we cover everything Marvel. So we're really, really excited about that. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Thank you so much. And until next time, we will see you on the couch.